Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before I do continue, let me just say a few things. The reason why you guys are seeing 5 of these videos pop up is because one of them will become a series in the New Year's. Now, I was originally going to do one video. Me and Blaze talked back and forth, and then decided to do a few things. That motherfucker kept winning coin flips, and some of these series are mine, but many of them are his. So, that's why there are 5. Though I don't really care, because I get to do some series I advocated for being on the roster. 2 romance series, and now 3 series that are action packed. And with that being said, let us start in the beginning. I'll be treating many of these like part 1s if you guys do notice that trend. Izuku Midoriya is somebody in his life who has seen a lot of things. Deku has been a part of the good, the bad, and the ugly. His father was a pro hero, and early into his life, things changed drastically. His dad was once admired for what he did. His job was easy for him. However, after starting a family and settling down, things became a little different. Izuku had to be taken away by his family because of an incident. One that involved his father going to jail for murder, Izuku being heavily scarred, and his mother being killed. Now, that does mean quite a bit. And Izuku, he never really recovered from it fully. The hospital staff were aware. Reconstructing that side of Izuku's face, it would be a challenge. If they were lucky, they'd be able to save the eye. But sadly, that didn't work out too well. They did what they could. And Deku, he was given a choice. And ever since that day, he's been a little bit more defensive. A little bit more aware. His father turned into a different man. And now, because of that, he had to fight. He had to do some bad things. And growing up, it meant quite a lot. Izuku had some friends. And after getting a job at a bar, he was a bouncer. And people, they really did not like to mess with Izuku. Because of his quirk, he was kept on for years. And eventually, his friend who ran the bar sadly passed away. The guy let him crash here for a few weeks. And those weeks turned into months as long as he kept that job. As long as he showed he was good at it. And now Izuku, he is the owner. It sort of sucks. But at the same time, he has his own place. The bar does good. It does more than break even. And now Izuku's the owner of it. And we do currently have about a month after his friend signed everything over and died. And Deku, he just sits there. It's late at night, or early in the morning, depending on the type of person you are. But Deku just drinks. Him just sitting in the empty bar. Last call was about 15 minutes ago. And this means quite a lot. Tomorrow morning, staff will come in and begin to clean things up and get them ready for tomorrow. But at the same time, it's concerning to him. He's in a position he's not sure he wants to be in. Currently, Deku bring his hand up, turning to his drink and taking a sip, before going to just bring his head up and grab his mask. Him putting it back onto his face and sliding it over his head. Right now, him going to stand up because he has to do a few things before he calls it an end to his night. And we do currently have an alleyway outside where somebody, they do actually turn. Them going to climb into a dumpster and try to hide. The cops have been chasing this person for quite some time. And currently, after they made a wall of fire, they got away. They broke police sight and were able to hide. And the cops, they're concerned. The woman in question is a dangerous villain. They don't have a very good description of her, but they know enough about her powers to be aware. She produces intense flames, and there currently is Izuku, who does go to walk outside with the trash, him mumbling something about the new hire who couldn't even take it out. And Deku, he just won't sit there. Currently, him holding onto the bag as police sirens do begin to actually fly towards him. And Deku does turn his head, a little bit more intrigued. And this is where the car would have pulled to a stop as the woman inside the dumpster does get somewhat pushed up. Her trying to at least look and see what's going on. And the officer will just won't step out, trying to ask the man if anyone's come by, and if he's even supposed to even be out here. And Deku would throw his finger over his shoulder, talking about how he's the owner of the bar. Listen, officers, it's been a bit of a stressful night. Things have been busy, and clearly some people did not do their jobs. So, he's going to head back in after dumping his garbage. Apologies, sir. Have you seen anyone come through here? Anyone at all? No. I just get out here. Deku turning his head, walking over and throwing open the dumpster. Him setting the bag inside, and then going to actually look down. Currently, him seeing a woman who would just going to bring her finger up to her lips and show that she doesn't want to be caught. However, her hand, it does glow a little blue. And Deku sees the wound on her shoulder along with blood on her torso. And this, it's a little concerning. And the woman stares back at Deku, right now his eye glowing with a blue color. And Deku, he does gonna turn back, expressing to the officers that he's sorry, but him closing the dumpster and turning back, he hasn't seen anybody. Fact is, though, if they're looking for villains, oh, that smells. Ugh. Must have gone bad. Listen, if they're looking for villains, there's a spot usually about 2 blocks away. There's a bar. Some villains like to go there. He's heard some unsavory rumors about the place. So if there are villains hiding anywhere, it might be there. That or maybe even the hotel, across the road. It's a little classy, but at the same time, there's some things flinging around about there. So, check it out, and if they can't find the villain, then they're probably gone. They got away. And the officers do to climb back into their vehicle, with them going to drive off as Dick does turn back around. Right now, him seeing the dumpster have the lid fold back down. Him going to bring his hand up and open it up. Him staring at the woman who does his own sit up. Her currently bring her hand down onto her chest. And she does his own wince. Deku talking about it. So, what exactly is she doing in a dumpster? She wouldn't happen to be the villain they're talking about? Her immediately gonna turn, bring her hand up as all of a sudden she does it a freeze. And Deku stares at her, talking about it. Right. Listen. He doesn't really care what she's doing here. She doesn't care why she's in the dumpster with the cops, on her ass, but he's not gonna leave some chick out here to bleed out. If she dies in an alleyway, or if cops are known to be in the area when she does die, or God forbid they find her out back, people might start rumors. His business will lose money. And as far as he's aware, he doesn't want this place to tank. So, she's going to come inside, and he'll help her out. She doesn't just stay all night, but just long enough for the police to leave the area. Does that sound fair? What did you do to me? Easy. I stopped you. I won't tell you how, though. My little secret. So, you keep mine, I keep yours. And how do I know you won't just call the police? because they didn't turn you in. We got a deal? Her trying to think. Her situation is not good. Right now, she's losing blood. Her stomach hurts, her side is throbbing, and her shoulder isn't doing too good. And Deku does get to tell her. He's got a room upstairs. He's also got a shower, and maybe a change of clothes for her. She doesn't seem to be doing too hot. And right now, Toya does get to express that she doesn't want anything from him. She's just gotta go. And Deku talks about it. She's not gonna make it that far. He's seen some pretty bad shit. And that certainly isn't good. And right now Deku would bring his hand up. Him going to step a few inches to the right after going to push her body a bit more to the right, aiming her hand away as he does going to deactivate his quirk. Deku just going to blink. And currently she does a fire off that blast of fire, and it is a flight through the air. Currently it switching through the air and making a sound. And currently Dabi does this on turn her head, staring to at Deku as he would express. Right, policemen have heard that. So, she might want to, hop in. Him throwing his finger over his shoulder. Her leaping over and going to fall forwards into the ground. Deku stepping forwards and bending down. Him getting her to her feet and bring her inside, closing and locking the door behind him. And currently Dabi, she does go to step in. Currently her removing her coat, and Deku, he does try to help her out. Her injuries aren't too good. And right now, they need to just wash off all the blood and make sure she's cleaned. Up, at the very least. Now, currently Dabi, she's going to do a few things. She doesn't want the help, but at the same time, she's not going to deny it. Things are a little dizzy at the moment. And this guy is clearly up to something. She can't trust him. Last time she trusted somebody, it ended badly. The deal went wrong, and then there's just things with him. It passed into her mind. Her a little angry. And Deku, he does somewhat sit there. Currently him sitting in his dining room and going to just bring his hand up. Him turning on the TV as I gave a description of a villain. And Deku, he does stare at it. It's talking about somebody who has the abilities of cremation. Somebody who has the power to turn people to ash in nearly an instant. A dangerous individual indeed. And this, it does mean quite a bit. Currently, Izuku watching on as Dabi does come walking out. Currently, her in some sweatpants and a t-shirt as Deku would turn his head. Her expressing that she appreciates the help. Though, if they're done, she's going to be on her way. She's got to hide. What are you hiding from? A few people. I don't expect you to understand. Listen, I'm intrigued to know. Why not call the police? Why not turn me in? Because I've had to do some things I don't like to do to survive. Listen, I'm not saying I'm a good guy. I'm not saying I'm a bad guy either. But whenever someone usually needs something, I'm a guy you can come to get it. Does that make sense? So what, you're a smuggler? I wouldn't say that. Though I do know some people. Some of those people are good. Some of them aren't. I give them some help from time to time, and they give me some cash. It's not exactly legal, but it's not illegal. As far as I'm aware, I'm just helping out my fellow man. And sometimes, woman occasionally. So what are you, a mob doctor? No. but I do know my way around the human body. So, Deku brings his hand up, and currently producing a weapon. Her gonna react as Deku does a freezer in place. Him standing up and talking about it, putting the weapon right up to her head. Bang. And that's how he could take her out in less than a second. Do be aware. He's just saying, currently him sitting down the gun as she would unfreeze. Her bring her hand up fully and staring at Deku. Still just a bit weirded out by it all. Him gonna express, there's a spare room down the hall. Take it or don't. If she doesn't want to stay here, then go ahead. What happened to your face? I don't want to talk about it. What happened to yours? Shut up. Right. Listen, I don't care. But if you ever need help, you can come back here. You know this place. Besides, could be good for business. Some people here are aware. Good people do good things, and bad people do bad things. But others aren't aware of the whole story. And that is, bad people do good things too, and good people do bad things too. Trust me. If you met my old man, you know pretty much about that. Real piece of work. Deku bring his hand up, and going to somewhat scratch his chin. And Deku, he does show a bit more contempt in his eyes, a bit more anger. And Toya stares at that a little bit more intrigued. He's willing to let her stay here for the night, though at the same time, he's also willing to just let her go. No cops, no anything. If they're really searching for her, they would have come by already. If he called them, they would have come by. But this guy's a little weird. She hasn't had somebody actually help her out before. Now without wanting cash or anything in return. What's your price? Your price. What is it? They're just gonna turn to her, talking about it. Whatever. Just go. He doesn't want to deal with her. He's got a few things to figure out. Right now, her gonna actually watch him stand up and walk to his bedroom. Currently, Deku gonna stop and turn, telling her not to mess with anything that's in that room. Though she's gonna head out in the morning, then sneak out through the back. People don't usually start coming around here till then. Well, around noon, at the very least. So she's got some time. A rest, though. She took some pretty bad blows. He doesn't know what type of fight she got in, but if she doesn't tell him, he won't say a word. So there's that. Deku gonna walk away. And Dabi does get someone stare at the gun. Her thinking about what to do. She can take the gun, take this guy hostage, and get out of here. But at one moment, he could have killed her. Another, he could have harmed her. He stitched up her injuries, and he didn't ask questions about the scars. He just fixed them up without saying a word. He's wearing a mask on his face, though. Why the mask? It's a bit weird. And currently she does this on turn. Her thinking about what to do. She needs to make a plan. Nobody technically knows that she's here. Her walking down the hall and opening a door. And walking into a room. It's a little empty. There's some stuff in boxes and, well, some of it's still up. There's the bed and the blankets all set, so Did he unpack something? What's going on here? Her just gonna sit down, pulling out her phone and putting in the name of the bar into the internet. Her finding information about what's going on, about why this guy is so weird. It explains a few things. He lost a friend of his, and she's assuming right now she's sitting inside this room, and that's why it's mostly vacant. Though at the same time, it also is so an intriguer. Right now, her thinking about a decision. This guy could be useful, could be helpful, but hmm. Okay. She needs to think about this. She leaves her number, and this guy, what? She can call when she needs a doctor, call when she needs help, call when she's in trouble. She's not a damsel, though that ability of his could be rather useful. He talks about money and cash, making more of it. She could take him on as an associate, somebody of business. He could help her get revenge. Hire him on, flash him some cash, and see if he'll work for it. Definitely an interesting idea. And currently Dobby would just won't lay down. Her going to set an alarm on her phone, and then going to leave in the morning. And Izuku, he does just won't wake up. Him sleeping through his alarm and heading over to that room, knocking on the door to see if he doesn't get any response. And there's nothing. Currently Deku going to open the door and see nobody here. He should have expected that. Although nothing looks stolen, so there's that. His gun's still in his room. Him going to walk downstairs. And currently there actually is on the counter, where there is a note that does just have one thing. A phone number on it along with some information. Call her. She might need his assistance. And maybe she and him can work something out. Now, Deku, he does stare at that, since right now he's to put the information to his phone and dial. And with that being said, I do believe that is a good point to leave this part off of. And I do hope you guys enjoyed. Merry Christmas.